Hi, I'm very interested what is going on in people's heads, and I want to talk about anything that people would like, but yet I could not provide people with valid information because I am, as source of information, can get only that information that I can get my hand on. Yet I see right now that current understanding of socialistic and communist I like not ideology, but pretty much communist head, to get in communist head or socialist head, American people simply couldn't understand what was going on during the USSR period, and we only now in 2017-16 can in some kind of shape of consistency say that we know what is going on. We know now what was going on in USSR during the period of its existence. Yet American population get very redacted information and choose to believe in it, choose to believe in lies. Pretty much all people know about USSR except facts, basic facts like there was Bolsheviks, there was revolution, there was Stalin, there was Lenin, and USSR fall apart. They don't even interested in World War II information. And from the point of view of it's very hard to explain people who are absolutely one-sided, who absolutely do not understand other side opinion, to explain this opinion to those people. You simply can't. It's much more simpler to, destroy humanity than to make people change their mind. And I'm talking to conservative people, I'm talking to right, I'm talking to left, of course, I'm talking to progressive left, and I'm talking to simple left. Because American progressivism and liberalism have nothing to do with socialism, of course, and there is socialistic movement in United States even, and it's not because they brainwashed people, it's because they simply struggle and simply understand that something is wrong with capitalism and with modern state of Western world in general. Yet I'm talking to both sides. I'm literally talking only to those people who pretty much saying stupid things, that's all. When I see something stupid, I react. It have nothing to do with personalities at all. It have nothing to do with like ideology or system of economy in general. It have nothing to do with that at all. All I am talking about in my speeches and in commentary, of course, when I'm comment on something. I see stupidity, I comment. I see stupidity, I make a video, for example. And it's not that I want to save people, like, you see, my point of view, my position here, not in the middle. My position is above. For some reason, my position is like out of any political spectrum. For some reason, I don't understand why. So I can talk to anybody. I can discuss anybody's worldview, ideas, ideologies. I pretty much don't care. I don't like Nazis for obvious reasons. No one from my family directly wasn't hit. No one was hit directly from my family by Nazism or World War. But everything that is against my homeland, of course, is a threat. Of course, I can't be positive about it. Like, come on, it's obvious. And in such conditions, in such situation, all I react to it's only stupidity. It absolutely does not matter whether it's left, right, center, I don't know, north, south, west, east. It absolutely have nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with some personalities, ideologies, or system of economy. I perfectly understand what bonuses socialism have, and I perfectly understand what bonuses capitalism have. Yet our perception of capitalism and socialism in general is very not clear. It's shaped by propaganda, and why I'm always repeating this like mantra. You repeating propaganda from 1950s of United States of America, pretty much. Propaganda from that period now suddenly came to life once again to weaponize people against each other in these conditions. And I know why. For the same reason that it was happening during that period. Western civilization finally hit the wall. Capitalism hit the wall. And people are frustrated. People jaded. People standing looking at this wall and they don't know what to do. And they're standing there literally alone. And there's nowhere to go. We was left. We went left. We went right. And there is nothing we can do to go forward over that wall or to destroy this wall. We could not do anything with that wall. It's standing there and we don't know what to do. We don't know what behind this wall. We won't go back. People frustrated, people jaded, people want to go back. It really doesn't matter where you're back, meaning for Europe it's Nazism, for example, that Hitler was right and he was like he will achieve great things for us if he won. For Russians it's go back to Stalin. Stalin would save us all, as he already did. For Americans it's all those good, wealthy 60s where all was straight up and understandable. Women are bad, blacks are underhuman, etc. Pretty much we get back. And this regress is going very rapidly. In modern conditions, in current situation, with technologies and with higher level of education, this process of getting back or rolling back, I guess, this process is going rapidly, very rapidly. We hit the wall and that's it. We was left, we went right, like You remember that first crisis happens in 1998. And since then, national debt of United States start to rise very rapidly. Since that moment. So we won't right first, like, to capitalism. Yeah, it took 10 years to understand that it doesn't work yet. Now we went left for some reason. For example, it's like, it's not exact, of course, because right now people are like hitting this wall, and some of them going right, some of them going left, and everybody, and when they will find out that there is no end of this wall, we need to go through it, what will they do in such conditions? Like, they go in miles and miles and miles and miles and miles, and no matter how many days you will go, you still see this wall, and all you can is go back somewhere, doesn't matter where. And people could not go through this wall, people could not go over this wall. They see this wall and they can do nothing about this wall. We hit this wall, capitalism hit wall. We went left, we went right, still the wall. And what should we do in such conditions? For some reason, even the world ruling elite choose to get back. Some to Stalin, some to Nazism, some to imperialistic ideas of empire, some to Maoism, I guess. I don't know how it goes in China or Japan. It's very like hierarchic countries. India doesn't give a flying F about the situation, pretty much, because they're all Buddhist and they pretty much don't give a flying F about the situation once again. What will happen in China if they hit this wall? If they will lost the markets to sell the goods? There will be crisis, and a huge crisis, and first of all it will be, of course, social crisis. The same will happen in the United States, in Europe, in Russia, I guess, in Australia. Australia is a very dependent country on everything, and New Zealand, of course. And what should people do in such conditions? What should people do in such situation? Well, world elite, one, or there is many world elites. You can choose, like, say that every country have its own elite, or at least for example, European Union have its own elite, because pretty much where European Union want to go back is pretty much to nationalism, or even straight up Nazism. It's not socialism in any shape or form. And in such a conditions, what people, like, I don't know, I don't see really exit from this situation. Yet there is economists who see the exit from the situation. They see where we can go. They already creating economical models how we're going to live in future years. But there is a problem. There is a huge problem. We can't achieve socialism without human degradation. And we cannot go on with capitalism as it is right now. To restart capitalism, we need a huge crisis, whether it will be social crisis, whether it will be military crisis, whether it will be huge economical crisis and therefore social crisis, and maybe lead to war, military crisis. It pretty much doesn't matter. To restart capitalism in some shape or form, we need to go through some crisis, some downfall. And even Trump administration, the people who put Trump in this position, they understand that we could not simply transfer to this to the next system without any losses. And suddenly we see what? We see people want go back to Nazism, which is pretty much to live like Republican want to. You need to how it's said, you need to take over the world in military terms. To live like Republicans right now is demanding from United States. You need to take over the world, or for that matter, to take over the Mexico, Central America, maybe even South America, Canada, to take over it, create a huge agglomeration of countries, and even maybe create a single like continent country. For example, to live like that, like Germans wanted. If you want to be a Nazi, if you want to live like this, if you want to say that white people is the best and everybody else is just nobody. In such conditions, you need a huge war. And who will go die to this war? Simple people. If you want to transfer to this peacefully, okay, you will get financial crisis. It means inflation. It means skyrocketed prices on everything. It means destruction of some financial institutions that hold many money that pensions is paid from. For example, many jobs will be lost. Many jobs will return back to United States. Yes. How long will it take? World War I took 4 years. And even for that moment, it could go on even further. World War II took 4 years. 4 years of very heavy fights, but in general it took 6 years to end, to finish it. Even more. 6 years took World War II to redistribute world in the shape that it's right now. Will it be the world conflict? I don't know. I have no idea. What huge crisis we get through? The crisis of 1929 in the United States, it took 2 or 3 years. If I remember this correctly, of course, you Americans can how it said, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it took 2 or 3 years to at least save economy as it is. Yet, what we have now? What do we have now? What choices do we have? Either we go, I forgot. So it took 2 years for crisis to like settle in the place. But now it's not only United States economy will be a part of it, but its world economy will be a part. So how many years will it take? How many years standard of living will be poor? Will it live? Will it lead to civic unrest? Of course it is. People who live right now like doesn't even work, doesn't even do anything, and suddenly they simply out of money because they have no job, because the salary that they worked for whole months is not enough even to pay for the food because inflation. Will it be devastating? How many? And once again, who will suffer from this? Think about it. It will be military conflict. Simple people will suffer. It will be crisis. Once again, simple people will suffer. Capitalists and very rich people will not suffer from this. It doesn't matter how big of inflation it will be. Rich people will always have enough to pay for security, to pay for food, to pay for house. And what do you, simple people, which is like 99% of you, maybe 90%, let's say, it's United States after all. So how many of you will suffer from this? Think about this situation. Think about these conditions. 99 or let's say 90% of you will suffer one way or another during this transfer period. One way or another, we can't escape it. We can't. There is no way. And if we will transfer to the next form of capitalism, as it's, I think, we want to, maybe there is some opportunities to, they will simply destroy European Union, and there will be a chaos in this region. And once again, out of this, let's call it war, one way or another, it will lead to death of simple people. During this war, once again, Europe will suffer. And socialism in these conditions offering people equality. Not this liberal equality, but real equality. You have a job, you have a health care, you have education, you have food, you have housing. You have a job, you have it all. If you don't work for benefit of government or for your country, I guess, in this situation, or for, let's say, world as it is right now, if you don't work, you're useless for society. Go and die in the woods, just as current Republicans want to. All those useless eaters, they don't need in these conditions. If you don't want to work, go to jail, work there. Simple as that. It's not hard to understand concept. We pro-life, but as long as you work, you're useful for society. Just as soon as you out of work for some reason, we provide you with a job. Please just do your job correctly. If you do your job decently, at least, you're useful for society. But if for some reason you don't want to do your job, you don't want to do the work that we provide you, then go to jail, work that way. It's pretty obvious. You don't want to work free? Go work as slave. If you can't handle such a pressure, well, you probably will die, which really doesn't matter. Because if you will die, society will lose nothing. I'm talking. But, you know, why am I so kind of triggered about the situation that will go through in future years? I'm mad about because rich people who right now using simple people as production slaves, as consumption slaves. They use us, they use you, and they will be fine during the crisis, during the war, it doesn't matter what will go on. They will be fine, and yet they do no job at all. Those people, rich people, very rich people, they will be fine. They will not get the fair share of troubles that simple people will get. And they don't get it now. They do not care about your problems. You don't like your job, you can quit. You can go fuck yourself. They already have money, and they will always be able to find another slave. They will find people who will consume their goods. They doesn't care about this. And at current world crisis that will happen, it's inevitable. One way or another we have to go through this. It can be less devastating or more devastating. There is simple just a measure between how much it will affect the simple people. And in these conditions, those people, rich people, they will be fine. It's you who will suffer. You, simple people, who will suffer in these conditions. You, simple people who are already suffering. Yes, the people who never get in trouble, they will never understand it. Who never get in trouble with healthcare, with education, and or maybe with job loss, they will never understand it in capitalism. But many people who go through these problems, they will understand this, and they will turn more and more to socialism, because it's equality first of all for everyone, equal situation. And what makes me mad about this situation, that rich people will be fine, even though they do no job, literally at all. All they do is invest money that they took out of thin air. They simply print this money. Yes, they do print this money. In essence, it's just simple printing of money. They create money out of thin air, and after they loan this money or give it as loan to another governments. And in this situation, rich people will be fine. But you simple workers, you simple people who work their asses off all their lives, who was very, very, very like in the weight of American dream, let's say. You will suffer in these conditions. You will suffer in such situation. That would make me mad. Not that it's like capitalism will consume you, or socialism is, I don't know, impossible. I don't care really. All I care about is that we, simple people, simple workers who now working their asses off to build a dream, we will suffer. You will suffer. But rich guys will be fine in this situation. Rich guys will be absolutely fine in this situation. That's what make me mad. It's unfair. It's unfair. Because they get their money only because they control the financial system or financial institutions, not because they work hard. That's what make me mad. I don't want for world this. I want fair problems for everyone. We will not escape the problems. Problems will happen anyway, it's inevitable. Yet, we can make it fair. Or you can be and stay slaves for rich people and let them prosper when you going to rot on the streets, when you going to die on the streets. When you will have to face against another simple people who will be starving and want your food. That's what make me mad. Not capitalism itself. No. Exploitation, slavery, that's what make me mad. Do you think we live in an equal society? Do you think you are free? Really? Think about the situation. You remember 2007. They do not bail out the people. They bail out Lehman Brothers. They do not bail out you, simple people. They bail out their fellow bankers. And they will do the same. They will print enough to save the institutions. They will print enough to make those people even more rich in such conditions. And you will die, you will starve, you will get troubles. You will live in hard conditions. I don't know how many years it will take. 2, 3, 5, 10, it doesn't matter. Anyway, you will suffer one way or another. Because all the money you are safe now, it will be just poof and gone. It will be just gone. The financial institutions will be destroyed, bankrupt, or straight up destroyed. Yes, they will bail out. They will bail out rich people, not the institutions that your money in right now. And they will give you your money. Yeah, inflated money, which if dollar will be like 100 times worth less, how will you accept this? You go to a shop, yeah, here your money. Here's your money. How many we owe you? 100,000. Please, here you go. And you like walk into $1 store and there is like $100 store or $1,000 store already. What you can buy on this 100,000? I remember those times. I lived through those times. And rich people prosper during this time. And simple people doesn't. Yeah, they saved this. They saved it because there was instruments. Now there is no instruments. and we need to reinvent those instruments. We need to create new instruments, and this will take time, during which you will believe like us, like Russians lived through the 90s. Do you really want such a miserable life? I don't think so. And what will be after? Everything will restart? Again, rich people will control everything, and you just a hired slave, and simple consuming slave. You really want to live like this? You're really that much brainwashed? Or should I say brain dead? Wake up, people. Something's going to happen soon.